Hello, world. Welcome. My name is Bill Schwingle, and I am a certified teacher and practitioner of Feng Shui and space clearing through the International Institute of Interior Alignment. I'm also a soul coach, another one of the amazing programs and certifications that is provided by the Lynn Academy, founded by Denise Lynn. What I wanted to talk about today was spring. Spring is right around the corner. It's an exciting time. The plants are starting to come out of the earth. The birds are chirping much more regularly. It's a time of renewal, a time of new beginnings. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is I think we have an opportunity to take advantage of this energy. And I'm going to ask that you do this in an empowered way. And so what does that mean when I say an empowered way? In soul coaching, one of the things that we have as kind of a core tenet is this sense that we are spoken to all the time by our own inner guidance, by our own soul, our spirit, and it allows us to be authentic. It reminds us how we can be authentic. And when we are authentic, we are living in an empowered way. We are taking empowered actions to live our best life, to live the life that our soul is asking us to do, the path that is laid out before us. And so it allows us to live a more joyful, more content, a more empowered life day to day. So when we talk about living an empowered way, how do we do this? Well, first and foremost, we need to recognize the various distractions that we face every day, the mental distractions, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical. So these different aspects of our lives often prevent us from being as authentic as we can be because we have ideas about who we are. We create stories that suggest that we are one way or another. And these stories are built over a lifetime, right? They start when we're children. And those stories lead to ideas that suggest that we are one way or another, that there are certain things that we are supposed to do, and certain ways we're supposed to act, and certain ways we're supposed to feel, right? So there are emotional blocks that we often create for ourselves, preventing us from feeling the way that really makes us live authentically. There are spiritual blocks, right? Distractions, various beliefs. Maybe we don't have a spirituality, or maybe we do, and in one way or another, it is driving decisions for us every day. And then there's the physical, right? The physical things in our lives that are distractions, whether it's the bills we have to pay, whether it is the boxes that are piling up, whether it is the many pieces of clutter we have in our home that just distract us from focusing on and listening to what our soul has to tell us. So living in an empowered way is about releasing those distractions, identifying them, recognizing what their value is, and letting them go when it makes sense for us to let go of them. So living in an empowered way is really getting to that authentic self by shedding the various layers that we have built over the years. And this last year, this year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology, was a perfect time for us to shed, just like we can shed the skin like the snake does. We can shed our own skin of distractions, of things that don't serve us anymore as we move forward day to day and try to live more authentically, try to live more empowered, listening to that soul every day. So what can you do really then to take advantage of this spring energy in an empowered way? Well, first let's talk about the energy of spring. Spring is a season that is all about new beginnings, all about that new earth coming through. The new plants, the new sprouts just breaking through. It's about the birds coming back, migrating back to a time and a place that supports their lives and building nests and starting families, right? So this is a powerful energy for new beginnings, and we can connect with that energy and connect with it and tap into it in a way that supports us in our own new beginnings, whether it is a new beginning that we are establishing around our work, right? Are we looking for a new job? Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe it's just a new sense of self. What is it that is in your life that represents something new, something that you want to begin again? Maybe it's a rebirth, right? So allow yourself to really focus on what would be your intention for any kind of new project, new beginnings for yourself. Intention is such a powerful way for us. Once we identify what that intention is for any given piece of or aspect of our lives, it can be a guidepost for us day in and day out. So once you define what that intention is, then go ahead and start working on that releasing of those distractions, that clutter, right? Take some time in your home. You can start physically, right? Start in your home and identify just a small space, a drawer, a closet, a side table, just something maybe small to start with. And as you go through those spaces and identify the things you don't need anymore, whether it's throwing them away, whether it's storing them for some time, or giving it away even, just give yourself some time to do this with intention, focusing on that intention for your new project, for that newness you're trying to bring into your life. So once you have that established, once you start to really focus on that clutter, think about if there's any other kind of clutter that you'd want to remove that isn't physical, right? Is there a perception you have of yourself or others that doesn't serve you anymore? Is there an emotion you've associated with certain people, certain events, certain times of the day? Does that still serve you, right? And focus on kind of what you believe in. Do those beliefs still serve you? So once you've had a chance to set your intention and start to work on clutter clearing in many levels, I would suggest that you create your own personal ceremony. And by that, I mean it could be something as simple as lighting a candle with intention every day. And so that you have an intention that you're following that day. You can also use something like sage to cleanse yourself, right? So you can use something like sage, or you can use an essential oil spritzer, something that allows you to cleanse yourself every day. Something that might be a little more practical would be taking a bath every day, or as you're taking a shower every day. Do it with ceremony to release and let go. Allow that water to wash over you and cleanse you. Then I'd suggest you have a ceremony for your home, right? Find some place in your home. It doesn't be your whole home, maybe a sacred space that you've created. And similarly, create a ceremony there. Light a candle, take some sage or bells or a drum or something that you can use to clear and cleanse that space. Focus on your intention and walk that space. And as you do, focus on that intention, which you're trying to bring into that space. And that'll allow you to create a sacred space for yourself. So that's just another ceremony you could do. And as you do it, right, start at the entry to your space. Walk around the space using whatever tool that you have. You could be clapping with your hand. You could be using a feather. You could be using sage or a bell, or even your voice. You could just sing as you walk around or chant a mantra. And as you do that 3 times. At the end of each circle, take a moment to reset your intention and go again and again and again. And once you're done, you can use the infinity symbol to kind of close that out as a way to say you're ending that ceremony. And then have one last blessing calling in to the space, one that allows you to reinforce your intention. Okay, so that's a third thing that you can do. So all of these things, setting your intention, doing some clutter clearing, establishing a ceremony, all of those with the intention you established for what you want to do or use that spring energy for. So then I'm going to ask you to journal for like 2 to 3 weeks after you do your clutter clearing. and even while you're doing it, so which would be helpful, is keep track of those things that are happening over the course of the next few weeks that support your intention. Are there new opportunities? Are there new people you're meeting? Are there changes in things around you that support your intention for your newness that you're bringing into your life? Allow yourself to just track that every day. You can do it at the end of the day and just look back on that day and see what are some things that you think really supported your intention, this energy of spring that is all around you. So give that a try and just give yourself the opportunity to listen to what your soul has to say, your empowered potential, your empowered self, your authentic self. Give yourself time. Allow yourself to be open. And you'll be, I think, pleasantly surprised at what comes and what you are able to create and attract into your life. All right. Good luck. Enjoy the spring. And until next time.